disappearance of Anne Marie Burr from her bedroom in 1961 occurred in the Tacoma, Washington neighborhood where 14-year-old Ted Bundy lived at the time. 8-year-old Anne Marie Burr went missing from her family's Tacoma, Washington home during a violent summer storm in August 1961. Since then, a disturbing theory surrounding her disappearance has come to light. There are those who speculate that Anne was taken and met her demise at the hands of a 14-year-old resident in the vicinity named Ted Bundy. Bundy undoubtedly transformed into one of the most notorious serial killers in American history. Prior to his 1989 execution, he openly admitted to the slayings of 30 women between 1974 and 1978. And insinuated that there could have been additional victims. However, the mystery lingers. Was Anne one of Bundy's victims? Despite denying any connection to the crime when confronted by the Burr family, the serial killer insinuated in discussions with investigators and experts that he had abducted a young girl from her home, assaulted her in a nearby orchard, and then dumped her body in a ditch. Explore the intriguing tale of Anne Marie Burr's life and sudden disappearance in August of 1961, as well as the numerous theories that speculate on what could have transpired. December the 14th, 1952, marked the birth of Anne Marie Burr in Tacoma, Washington. Growing up with her parents, Beverly and Dawn, and her siblings, Julie, Greg, and Marie, she experienced a childhood filled with love and security. Surrounded by friends in the neighborhood, Anne and her siblings were taught by Beverly that the world was a place of kindness and safety. Anne was so trusting, Beverly later told the Seattle Times, noting she regretted not warning Anne about the world's evils. It was a big mistake. We taught her everyone was good. We did not teach them that people could be bad. I still think her abductor was probably someone she knew. As the summer of 1961 was winding down, Beverly took charge in preparing her 4 children for the upcoming school year. Anne was on the brink of starting 3rd grade at Grant Elementary School, so when she requested to spend the night at a friend's home on August the 30th, Beverly turned her down. She was focused on ensuring her children were ready for the transition from summer to school. When the clock struck 11 p.m., Beverly and Dawn completed the task of securing their home on the 3000 block of North 14th Street. Dawn placed Barney, their Cocker Spaniel, on the landing near the kitchen, while Beverly made certain that the front door was locked tightly. Little did Dawn and Beverly know, as a summer storm raged outside, that it would be the last night they would ever see their oldest daughter before going to sleep. Beverly had a final encounter with her daughter before Anne disappeared. Later that night, Anne brought her younger sister Mary to their parents' room because Mary's cast was bothering her. Beverly spoke to both of them before sending them off to bed. Around 5 a.m., Beverly was abruptly awakened by a sense of foreboding. She quickly went to check on the children and realized that Anne was missing from her bed. While the rest of the family was sound asleep, Beverly found that the window in the living room, typically left slightly open for the TV antenna wire, was wide open. Adding to Beverly's alarm, she noticed a garden bench had been placed under the window. Furthermore, the front door, which she had locked the night before, was now ajar. Beverly woke her husband from his slumber, and together they embarked on the search for Anne Marie. The tips came flooding in fast. According to HistoryLink, 3 neighbors said they spotted someone looking into the Burrs' windows, and Don and Beverly remembered hearing odd sounds in their yard that summer night. Furthermore, law enforcement officers inspecting the scene recorded a small footprint, similar in size to that of a teenage boy, on the overturned bench located below the window, and retrieved red thread from the windowsill. After interviewing countless individuals and initiating the biggest search operation in Tacoma's history, Anne Marie Burr remained elusive and could not be located. When I first saw that window open, I knew I would never see her again, Beverly later said. I knew I would never know what happened. It came to me just like that. It was a strong feeling. She continued, when they were searching, I thought, what's the point? I knew she was gone and we would never see her again. Even after Beverly's death in 2008, 5 years after her husband, the investigation into Anne Marie Burr's disappearance remained unsolved. However, there are now several theories about what happened to Anne, and one of the most unsettling is the suggestion that she was murdered by her teenage neighbor, Ted Bundy. As the days went by following Anne Marie's disappearance, law enforcement examined several persons of interest. According to the Seattle Times, one teenage boy in the neighborhood initially failed a polygraph test, but later passed. There was also an inmate from Oklahoma who confessed to being involved in Anne's case. Lastly, there was a 14-year-old named Ted Bundy, who later became infamous as a serial killer. When Anne disappeared, Bundy resided just 2 miles from the Burr family. According to Q13 Fox, Anne and Bundy were acquainted, with Anne frequently following him around as he went about his newspaper delivery route. Following his arrest in 1978, Beverly and Don Burr were startled to find out that Bundy had shared a bone-chilling story with authorities about killing a young girl in an orchard. The Burr family resided next to an orchard abundant with apple trees and raspberry bushes when Anne vanished. In 1986, Beverly took the initiative to write Bundy directly, sharing her belief that he was responsible for Anne's death. You have nothing more to lose in this world, Beverly wrote. Will you write to me regarding Anne Marie? Bundy promptly answered, adamantly denying any involvement in Anne Marie Burr's death. First and foremost, I do not know what happened to your daughter Anne Marie, Bundy wrote. I had nothing to do with her disappearance. As mentioned by HistoryLink, Bundy often presented a different account. Dr. Ronald Holmes from the University of Louisville's School of Justice Administration stated that Bundy had admitted to stalking, strangling, and assaulting his first victim, an 8-year-old girl. Bundy claimed to have buried her in the muddy pit near the University of Puget Sound. Don Burr recalled seeing a suspicious young man in that area who smirked as he searched for his daughter. Don implored law enforcement to search the site, yet the ditches were swiftly filled in as a result of the university's construction activities. Despite the Burr family's wish for a last-minute confession, Ted Bundy was executed on January the 24th, 1989, without saying anything more about Anne Marie Burr. Since that time, Anne's family has been left to speculate if she was Bundy's very first victim. In 2011, Bundy's blood was tested against minute DNA traces found at the Burr family home, but the Huffington Post notes that the results were inconclusive. Even now, the case of Anne Marie Burr remains a puzzle waiting to be solved. Was Bundy the one behind her disappearance, or was there someone else involved? The fate of the 8-year-old who went missing in the dead of night may forever remain a mystery.